I'm Sir Peter Michael and I'm Chairman of Greenham Common Trust, and I want to give you a very quick outline of how we got here and why we're standing here today talking about the successes and the future, as well as the past, of this extraordinary, very successful project, which has taken us all a huge amount of energy and a lot of time, but it's working really well. So 20 years ago, the Berlin Wall came down, and a few years later, the Americans left this site, this US AF base, which had been the home of the ICBMs, the intercontinental ballistic missiles. And the objections that had occurred throughout Europe faded away, and this became a peaceful site with nothing going on, empty, rotting. A tremendous amount of money had been spent on it, maintaining it by the US government and the UK government, and everyone wondered what to do. A number of us got together and thought about a possible solution. So we started and tried to form an agreement between local government and our business group. The business group produced an amazing collection of specialist knowledge who managed to put together a plan that was accepted eventually both by local government, who embraced the idea, and then by Her Majesty's government at Westminster. We were able to buy this site and put it into the name of a charitable trust. The trust had its objectives of finding the ways of generating cash and generating business. Now we have a successful industrial commercial scene here with 150 businesses, 1,500 people working here, and facilities. So let me tell you a bit about the foundations here. This was born at the point of one huge financial and economic downturn in the UK. Of course, for the last 10, 15 years, that has changed, but we now again face some of the toughest economic conditions this country has known, and once again, Greenham Common is going to be able to help. The way this works is there are 150 businesses, and they pay rent at a modest level to stay on this park and share the facilities and resources. The job of the trust is to ensure that they maintain their viability and that the trust can be paid by the rents that fall into the trustees' hands. Then the trust itself takes charge of that and, under a committee with a number of local interests, distributes it wide and fairly in West Berkshire and the local environs. The success of that project has been huge. You can probably already tell that this is one of the most successful projects in the UK. As well as the contributions to various charities, we get involved in a number of major projects. These are aimed at improving the facilities for those who are disabled and for those who need accommodation for their own charitable interests. There have been some major donations towards important projects. For example, Newbury did not have a local hospital which you could call a hospital. We have been able to add up-to-the-minute digital X-ray equipment, which was around about £500,000 to £1 million. Another thing that we've done recently is to provide £100,000 towards a skate park in Newbury, in Victoria Park. One of the best known small theatres in the UK is the Watermill Theatre. We contributed well over £500,000 towards the start of a charity which ended up at over £3 million. One of my personal interests has always been to see the development of sculpture, contemporary sculpture. And we've had a number of sculptors here and some sculptural exhibitions. And as a result, we have a thriving arts centre here on Greenham Common, where facilities are provided for the artists to ply their trade and to create works that they'd really like to see exhibited. We support opera, and the highlight being Opera for All at Newbury Racecourse. This year we had 1,500 people paying £5 a ticket on a wonderful day to see the Magic Flute. And I think that's coupled with the support we give the children in schools locally who learn about opera from the travelling cast. And they've taken a huge interest in opera, amazingly so, that I think opera may be bound for a really good ride in this area in the future, and maybe elsewhere too. So I hope I've given you a bit of an idea of what Greenham Common Trust does. We've been here for over 10 years now, and I still go to dinner parties and people say, "Greenham Common, isn't there something going on up there?" Well, there sure is. And now you know a bit more than you did.